It's Kent and Kelsey for another Mr. Truck review. Today, it is a 2018 Dodge Durango SRT. This is an exciting vehicle. It has that 6.4 Hemi, they call it the 392, and 8-speed paddle shifters, high-speed tires, high-speed brakes. It has everything. How much power do we have, Kelsey?
We have 475 horsepower to 470 foot-pounds of torque.
Oh, cool. And you're a handling girl. You like to take this thing fast around the curves. This thing here will stick to the asphalt. And I'll try to get motion sickness, but yeah, let's go have some fun, Kelsey.
Let's go fly down the mountain.
Cool. Yes, this is a 392 Hemi, 6.4 Hemi. Okay, Kelsey, tell me about this under the hood.
So under this hood, it is completely sealed off. It's pretty aerodynamic. It's got the 3 hood scoops that are functional. It doesn't go into the airbox, but it does cool that motor off pretty well.
That's cool. I love functional hood scoops. If you can see that one. Yeah. Yeah.
Front.
Oh, that is so cool.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty cool.
So this has got the Brembo brakes. It's got 6 pistons in the front and 4 in the rear. They are this nice pretty red, and here's a gorgeous 20-inch wheel that we got.
Awesome. So you can go fast and stop fast. That's cool.
All right. So this has these really pretty demon seats.
Yeah, they're that's Laguna leather, whatever that means.
They're really pretty.
Yeah.
The steering wheel has lots of functions on it. Paddle shifters move with it. It's got that bottom flat steering wheel. All of those pedals are really pretty down there.
Oh yeah, yeah, those are cool. It just speaks performance, everything on this. Cool.
There's that carbon fiber we were talking about.
Yes, the carbon fiber trim. That is
goes all the way through.
Oh yeah, yeah. Cool. Okay, Kelsey, show me how big and how much room there is back here.
Captain's chairs are comfy.
Beautiful Laguna leather. I love it.
They're really comfy. Oh, they've got a pod control up top for your air. Switch controls for your air on the bottom if you want to go top or bottom.
That's pretty cool.
Bunch of USB ports. There's 2 USB ports here and 110.
Oh yeah.
Whole charging station back here, darn it.
Yeah, everybody's always charging their phones when they get in your car. That's how that works.
Heated seat buttons. It's got nice little cup holders in the doors and the center console. It's
cool.
fitting nicely.
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh, okay. I like the way that front seat is. It's got the headrest, kind of folds down if you want to get it out of the way.
Yeah.
That looks pretty awesome. Yeah, now how do you get that seat folded?
I don't know. Not with this one.
Is there enough levers? Does it fold over again?
Nope, there's a button.
Ah, there's a button.
There's a knob to pull.
Cool, so that's how you get back there now. Let me go to the back, and I can actually open the door. There's a button on the handle, and it powers up. Yeah, there we go. Now I think...
There pulls.
Yeah, can you pull? Oh, I can pull them up here. I think you got a handle on, or is that some, I don't know what that handle's for. Is that what that is? Okay.
I'm guessing that handle, if you pull that handle, it should pop the seat head or the headrest down and then the seat's back.
That's cool. Let me go around the side and see. Do you have room back there?
It might be a kid's back seat.
Yeah, that's true. That's probably the, but you got, 4 seats for the adults.
Actually, it's not too bad.
Yeah?
Have room to kind of lean
You got
back
enough
in
room
here.
in your knees and everything?
Short people are going to fit.
Awesome. Well, that's nice that you can at least haul 6 people,
Nice
little or
armrest.
big. Yeah, I love the armrest. I love captain's chairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get really comfy back here.
Wonder if they recline. Looks like they recline.
Let's see. Let me pull this button and see what happens. Oh, look at that. They recline.
They will recline.
Awesome. I can sleep in the back. That's too cool. Now that one folds all the way up, does it?
This one folds all the way up, and this one
Too cool. That's awesome. Okay, I opened the hatch. But show me all the cool stuff in the back. Look, it's got storage on the floor. And
storage. These have got
that's the arm rail. Yeah, that's how you fold those up. That is too cool.
There's where your latch is for.
Yeah. A lot of cargo
Storage.
space back here. Yep, you got a lid there. Oh, that's pretty deep tub.
Yeah, you got a nice storage space back
little
here.
hooks to hang stuff on. And I love these little cubby holes over there. I could drop some ammunition down there.
It looks like you have one of the covers for back here too that fits in.
Yeah,
so
it covers up hide your groceries and all that other stuff.
Luggage, groceries, whatever you want to put back here.
Consoles and the armrest. Yeah. That's pretty cool. Cool little plate.
Lots of power.
Yeah.
Everywhere throughout this vehicle there's power.
And there's the hitch on the back. It had a cover on. I took that off, but yeah, you can close all that up or use it. Easy to get to the plug-ins. Yeah, button inside to close that puppy.
Automatic door. All right.
Okay. Too cool. Such a good-looking machine.
So this has got the G-force measuring on there. We've got the front and the back and the right and the left, and it measures it in. Oh, there's another screen that'll tell you where you're at.
Yeah, that screen, that is a cool one. I mean, 4 different G-forces. That's all we need to see out of that center stack is that one. This, Kelsey, I want to show you some of the cool stuff on here. I mean, I know you know how to drive this thing so well, but this center screen shows you how to handle the transmission. If you want a quicker shift, you want higher RPMs. The paddle shifters turns them off and on depending on what you're into. Stability control, which is so cool. All-wheel drive, you decide if it splits at 50-50 or whatever the standard is. You can change the suspension and the steering. So I go over here to tow mode, and it shows in tow mode, you get the paddle shifters are on, you got a full stability, and the power is 50-50 like a four-wheel drive. Sport suspension and street steering, so it's not too fast a steering. That's set up for that. Then you go to snow, and it's pretty close to it, so the transmission probably starts in a higher gear, those things. But you set it up for auto, it goes back to where it was, put it in custom. And I did this when I was driving on some of the water. I pulled back on some of the stuff and then put it in all-wheel drive and a few other things. In sport mode, it automatically goes here and you can change all that. Then you go to the track, and then it's a whole other set of settings. And then there's preferred pages. It's so cool because this, and it's really neat when the engine's running because it'll show you RPMs, horsepower, all that. While it's logging up, we'll figure all that out. But it's got, like, that tells you the horsepower, and this is your G-force. You can watch that. Add more widgets and oil pressure. And then you can actually do, set up to gauges so you can watch all that battery, oil pressure. That'd be cool to do when you're pulling a trailer. And then G-force, it's like what you saw in the center stack. It'll show you 4 different G-forces on cornering, braking, acceleration. And then you go to the engine, and you get into, I'll tell you, horsepower, and then you go to a dyno. It actually tells you all these things for your horsepower and your torque, which is awesome. And then you have a dyno, and that will actually, when the engine's running, I'll do that. I'll start that and show that. I know this thing rumbles really cool, but anyway, let me go back to where I was, performance pages. And then it'll move over and show horsepower and torque. Of course, now we're idling, so it's not going to show a lot. Wrap it up once, see what it does. Look at that. Isn't that cool? You can watch where your torque is, where your horsepower is. You can dyno it. It'll record that just like your G-force. It records all that, so you can go back and look at it. But this is so cool. And then it's got a launch. Down here is the SRT. I mean, you can see that in the camera, but that's where I get to all this, and this is a launch mode. I haven't figured it out, but you can set your RPMs and all that. Let's see, try to figure all these things out. Well, you got a camera up there too, so you can take pictures of all that. But anyway, I go to SRT and gets to this picture, and then you can do like race options. So here's where you set your RPMs. You move this up and down, set where you want it to shift. And then you have launch control, on how it takes off, and if you want it to shift lighter or harder. And then, of course, all the normal stuff. But this is so cool. Look at all this stuff you can do to this. You can play this thing for days. And I got to find the place in here, but you can also run a Christmas tree on here. It's probably in your center stack. A lot of this transfers to the center stack of your gauge stack, your cluster. And what's cool about that is you can do the Christmas tree. It goes green, yellow, red, then you take off. So you can actually record all that. So just as if you were at the track, you can do all this stuff. Some safe place you can actually find out what your quarter-mile time is, your 0 to 60, all that stuff. And braking data. This is just so cool. I mean, what other vehicle out there has this kind of stuff on it? Yeah.
There we go.
Oh, we're flying down the road. And this 2018 Dodge Durango SRT. The SR has that 3.5 Hemi. I'm sorry, the 5.7 Hemi.
There you go.
And this one has that 6.4, 392 hot diggity dog. And it's really weird. Now, if you notice, you got a 55 mile an hour, shows you right there on the side. You got to watch that because they cut the dash into 3 sections. And one section is mile per hour, and it's 180 miles per hour, which means that the little dots are that close together. So 5 miles an hour means like a dot. So you got to have the digital like it shows there.
They are really close together.
But this thing is one handling machine. I've driven a few hundred miles now, and it's so much fun. And it's like a lot of these. This is a performance SUV, and this is the best in class in so many things, including towing 8,700 pounds. But they are so much fun and so much power, and and the steering is so sensitive that you can just it's just
you
a
can
kick
whip in and out of places.
Oh yes, and it's fast. It handles at corners. It accelerates. It has that wonderful V8 rumble. Oh, it's a kick in the butt, and it's such a perfect vehicle. I mean, I know it's 71,270 MSRP, but I think it's worth it. I mean, very few vehicles I think that are worth that, what their MSRP are, because this one you got seats for 6, you can haul a family, you can pull a trailer, you can go have fun, you can just go out there and race with it, take it to Bannerman or someplace when you own it, and just kick butt with it, because it's an 8-speed. It's got a paddle shifter on the steering wheel.
It's got the manual select right there on the T-shifter.
It's a T-shifter, and it shows you the gear right on it. And that is, this 8-speed is really good. And we'll show you in the screen, because you can set this up. I had it set up for tow, and it'll change your steering, your suspension, all that for towing. And then you set it up for track, and it'll change how sensitive your steering is. It'll actually, there's a place you go in there and set what RPMs you want each gear to shift in. It's got a Christmas tree, so you can drag race off the green, yellow, red. And then it'll record all that stuff.
It's got a timer, it's got a dyno,
it does, yes. We're going to show all that stuff because it has so many things that you can zero in. You can see what your horsepower is, you can see your torque curve, all that will come up in the center stack. So this is one kick-butt vehicle. And, it's got these Pirelli P-Zeros, whatever they're called. I mean, I'm sure they're Z-rated for the speed. But they're wide tire. They're not the best in rain, though. I drove it through a lot of rain yesterday north of Trinidad on I-25, and I was starting to hydroplane. So I slowed down, got under a bridge when it was starting to hail. We had to be careful with it, but man, it's not really made for heavy rain. And this is an all-wheel drive. And you put it in tow mode, it goes to 50-50. And if you don't, there's several things that will 50-50, and then you can take it off of that. And I don't know if that goes to 70 in the rear and 30 in the front. That I'm not sure of. But a lot of those all-drive systems will do that, so that steers without any bucking or any of that. But you can lock it in 50-50 on the all-wheel drive. It's even got the chrome pedals with the little rubber thing sticking to it. This thing just speaks racing from the outside. I mean, stripes are an option. These giant 20-inch wheels. It's got Brembo brakes. And they're those red calipers, 6 pistons in the front, 4 pistons in the rear. What do you think about the handling? I mean, we're taking some curves here.
It's very tight. It's very responsive. It's super easy to drive.
Oh, it's
super fun.
It is. And I shut off the lane departure. You can do however you want to run it, but because the steering is so sensitive, I was even getting close to the line and it was moving me around.
Yep.
And that was kind of dangerous on rain, so I shut that part off. And I don't like to have to fight the vehicle to drive it. And this one I love it without using that, because you hit corners, it does not move. I mean, you move the steering wheel, it moves. There's no slack in there. There's no pre-play.
But it's not leaning. It's not swaying. It's just smooth.
It's on the rails. There's no body roll at all out of this. And as far as I can tell, it's 4-coil, and then it's got these shocks, so it looks like a reservoir on the side, but it looks like an airline coming out. I couldn't figure out, or even look it up to see what it was, but it's all adjustable by the settings you have on how stiff the shocks are, how responsive the shocks are. So your whole suspension can be tuned, along with everything you want to know about the engine.
There you go, Ken.
There's that wonderful rumble. Whoa!
Now you'll get sick.
Okay, I'm going to get sick because Kelsey knows how to take a corner.
Since I don't have a trailer on, let's play.
Oh, yeah, there's no trailer on here, so we're doing some corners at the speed limit. It's nice and fast. It's like a go-kart, man. You just go out there and have fun with it. I tell you, if I had the 71,000, this would be on top of my list, because I love this truck. And it's so usable. That's what I'd have to have. And we'll show you how the seats fold down and the hatch and all that.
This thing glides through corners.
Oh, yeah. It does. If you look at the steering wheel, the bottom's chopped off, so it's kind of it's a flat bottom steering wheel. We know what that's for.
It's a smaller wheel. It fits in the hand nicely.
Yeah, and you got all the gauges you need. Of course, push button start, everything you want. And this has a dynamic brake system on here. We get out of these curves, so I'm not sick to my stomach. I'll start reading
Sorry, Ken.
some of the options on here. It does have what he's called B. What kind of brakes are these?
Beats by Dre.
Beats by Dre. Okay. Great sound system in this.
These switchbacks, this thing is handling awesome in 86.
Yeah. Well, those wide. This is a V8. Those wide tires are a big part of that and the suspension because there's no body roll, so you can just take them out there, and you're not going to have some of that weight forcing you over.
This thing goes.
You had a Durango way back when with a lift kit on it.
I did, but it was a little too sloshy around the corners, and it leaned too much, so I couldn't have this much fun.
Yeah. This is actually
there was no going 60 or 80 around corners. That's for sure.
Yeah. This SRT, it's all about performance, and it's wonderful. I mean, this has got 3 scoops on the hood that go into the engine.
Mm-hmm.
They don't tie to your air intake, but they do cool off the engine, which is, it's cool having those on there, and they're functional. I hate fake hood scoops. Just don't like them. This is the real McCoy. There's another nice tight corner.
No problem for this thing.
Yeah.
This is the funnest one we've had in a while.
I know. It's I wouldn't call it an off-road machine, but it is a performance machine. But the all-wheel drive, you should be able to handle some snow. I don't know if I'm doing things right in the rain, but I wouldn't recommend you go out in a major rainstorm because it was pouring cats and dogs.
Yesterday was bad.
Yeah, it was crazy. But this thing it's rated on the highway at 19 miles a gallon, 13 in the city, 15 combined. And I was getting like 20.8, averaging 75 miles an hour, between Pueblo and Trinidad. And I did really well. Actually, I ran at least 200 miles, and that's what it averaged. It was 20.8, so that's impressive for what it is. I wish my truck got that.
Mine does.
Yeah, you got a diesel. You got a Ram diesel 1500.
Yep. Yeah, one of them eco diesels. It does well over that.
What if I should have brought a helmet?
Maybe.
Oh, this is that purr. Look at my eyes are dilated.
Well, this thing will show you the G-force on it, too. Oh,
yes. That is so cool. Yeah, it shows you 4-position G-forces. It'll show you the main stack, or it'll show you in your center console there, your dash.
Right on my dash.
And the center console, but it'll show you 4 positions of G-force. And we'll show you that on camera, but it'll show you left and right, forward and back. So you got brake, acceleration, handling, all that. You can actually record the G-forces you have. I mean, this is like a rally car. You go out there and do all these things and see if you can improve your speed.
See how good your driving is. We're not allowed to do that. We signed a contract saying we can't do that.
We're being careful with it. But man, is it fun.
This thing is great. 8,400 pounds that you can tow?
8,700.
8,700?
One place I found 86, one place 87 for this. Now, the 2019 will have a brake control part of it.
Up front?
This one had a pigtail to put one in it.
Okay.
But, this is exciting, Kelsey.
I'm sorry.
I know the truck's not leaving, but I am. I'm moving all over. And are you still paddle shifting? Or
No.
Automatic? And that is so cool. I love paddle shifters. This is, like what you want for the road races. But you can do so many things with this. That's what's cool about it. I mean, that's why for what you're getting with this truck, with the brakes, with the engine, with everything, I think it's worth every bit of $71,000.
Just for the fun I'm having.
Yeah, there's a lot of vehicles I think are way overpriced, but this one I don't think is. I think you're getting value with this one. And I like the way the hood's shaped like a power dome.
I am more of a truck person, but this, I could settle with this.
Yeah, the government, the EPA actually would call this a truck because it's got a flat load surface, but it's not a body, it's a unibody, but it's got subframes. And it's really a rear-wheel drive vehicle with all-wheel drive. But if I can even read this thing, I might...
Sorry. I'm stuck behind somebody, so it might get a little better.
Okay, I'll try to read this. I'm falling over. But it has a launch button. I'm not sure
It does.
what that launches, but it probably will launch me out the window. But, I mean,
Ejectocitos.
this thing is made for taking it to the track and just having fun with it. I mean, we have bend mirrors up here. You can take this out there and have a lot of fun. See all who you can beat. But I think it does a 4.4 quarter mile. That's some crazy number. It's not as fast as the Trailhawk, but it is plenty fast for the size of the family machine. Okay.
I wonder what it is. 1 to 180 speed is. How fast it gets there.
I don't know.
I'd like to test it.
You want to try that?
Yeah, I would love to.
Well, I got to get my helmet before we do that.
I'm pretty sure the track requires a harness and a helmet.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, right. There is a speed limit on that. So it's got park assist with stop. So I think this thing does that little parallel parking thing.
Maybe.
The performance page is where you can look at all the dyno and all that.
The dyno is super cool.
Yeah.
If I didn't have to pay for a dyno on every truck we did, that would be great.
The 180 primary speedometer, high performance suspension, adaptive dampening suspension. And to me it looks like air, but I never hear a pump going, so I'm not even sure. But it's got a little reservoir on the side. It's got a electronic limited slip differential rear axle. I wonder where you engage that, because I didn't find a button for that. Probably in the dash.
It's probably, there's a lot of buttons in there.
Yeah, and the dash has got a lot of controls inside it. And it's high performance exhaust. And you can tell that this is a wonderful exhaust. I love the sound of this.
It sounds great.
And it's got special performance tuned steering. And it actually will adapt to whatever you're doing, whether it's track or towing or whatever, to how sensitive the steering is, which is cool. So you can dial this in for whatever you're using it for.
Sorry, Ken.
It's okay. Glad I didn't have a lunch yet. That's why you're my test pilot, because you go out there and do all this cool stuff that I would probably get ill over. I mean, I'm old now, so I can't even ride the Ferris wheel anymore. That motion stuff gets to me. But I don't mind an ATV. I can't go that fast either. But let's see, configurable drive mode, 4-wheel traction control, Brembo brakes. That's awesome. Backup camera. I've used that several times, hooking up to things. I got to figure out how to turn the tone down. It's a little darker. I'm sure there's a way to brighten that up. I've got to figure that out. There's power lift gate. Won't start. Trailer sway dampening. I want to really try that out, because it levels out pretty well with the trailer.
It does.
Active noise canceling system. Well, it is quiet except when you're wrapping it up and you hear the motor. So I was concerned whether I need to put a microphone on it or yell at the camera, because you can hear the engine almost all the time we're doing it.
Well, that would be probably a little better if I kept my foot out of it, but it's just too fun. There's no
I know, it's really hard to drive this slow. It's very hard.
It wants to move, and it's going great.
Let's see, it says the SRT track experience. I'm sure that's all that stuff in the center console. Yeah, 4-seat nav, 8.4-inch display. There's all the normal stuff. Premium audio, Apple CarPlay, Google, Android. I don't know anything about any of that stuff. I mean, 8-way power seats, 8-way passenger seats.
Yeah, lots
And
of power.
it's got heated and cooled seats, and the second row has heated and cooled seats.
Nice.
And it's got a heated steering wheel. Because when it goes to that rain, I had to put on the defrosting, and I had to turn on my heated steering wheel.
You never get heated and cooled seats in the second row.
That's true.
Not the cooling, at least.
Well,
we have the heated.
This is a premium performance SUV.
It is premium. The seats are pretty.
Man, those paddle shifters, I love them on my little side-by-side, but this is how and it goes with the steering wheel. On mine, the steering wheel turns without the paddle shifters. This turns with it, so you can really do some funky stuff with it.
Well, and that, they can get me in trouble.
Yeah, it's 20-inch, 10-inch, wow, 20-inch wheels, but it's got run-flat tires.
Yeah.
We should go out and let all the air out of the tires.
Just see if it works.
Yeah, that's what we should do. Let's take all the air out of the tire. It's Pirelli's.
I wonder where the compressor for it is.
No.
The wheels are actually really pretty. You can see a lot of the rotor and you can see the Pirelli brakes, but they're actually kind of pretty.
Yeah, the Brembo's that 6-piston. I mean, that should stop you on a dime. And this has a stopping feature too. That if it sees something in front of you,
it'll stop you.
Yeah, stop you very fast.
That's nice.
Now this is called a demonic red seats.
They are
demonic.
really pretty.
Is that kind of like the demon kind of thing, huh? They like that demon thing. Performance front suspension. It's got really cool angles on the front end, and the little runner in front of the tire with holes in it. I guess that cools the tire off, or that's just for aerodynamics. It's got advanced brake assist, adaptive cruise control. I love it, and with stop. And I've been using adaptive cruise control yesterday all the time, and I loved it. And it locks on the guy in front of you. You can set how far back you want to pull, and then it actually, if they brake, then you brake. But I don't understand on the you'll see that in the steering wheel. It shows adaptive cruise control, and then it shows regular cruise control. Why do you need both? I mean, adaptive will do everything the other one will do.
What if you're in front?
Well, the adaptive cruise control works fine in front. You see, it locks on. If there's nobody in front of you, it goes to the speed you set.
Speed you set.
So I can't figure out why you even need the other one. I don't know. It's got blind spot, cross path direction, lane departure. We talked about that. Forward collision warning. And it's got a wiring harness for the brake controller. 19, I guess it counts.
Sorry, Ken.
Oh, you're fine. My pupils dilated?
I don't know yet. I'm paying attention to the road.
Oh, look at this. It's going to rain now, so we go outside to do our stand-up intro. That's how this is for us.
Sometimes we get lucky, sometimes we don't.
That's true. I like to spun as a motorcycle. Lean into the corners. Now, there's parts of this interior, we can see it. That's carbon fiber.
They're in the door panels, they're in the front. I don't know about the back yet.
Yeah. That is cool. And they lowered this truck, the regular Durango, so it's made to the road.
It drives nicely.
Oh, it does.
Nice and smooth, handles really well, goes.
Yeah. I mean, this is exactly where you'd have fun with this in the mountains and all these switchbacks and all that. That's just
dangerous.
Oh, that's where you have fun with this stuff. Truck list for next year to get a new truck, and I'd love to have this one.
Gosh, it's so pretty up here, even with the rain.
It is. We're very blessed to be next to the mountains, and you're really close to them, so you get to see all the cool scenery. That's what we need. We need to have like an elk walk across the road. See if you can maneuver around stuff fast, you can go around him. Or a moose, that'd be even better.
No, my luck is he'd stop as I was maneuvering around him, and then I'd have to explain to everybody on camera why I hit him.
Well, you can drift. You can lock the brakes, go sideways. Go right around him.
Pretty sure that's a breach of our contract, but if there was a moose in the road, I'd get away with it.
Well, that's true. And, after all this performance stuff, it has cylinder deactivation. So this V8 will run on V4.
Alright, so it's got eco mode.
Yeah, so that will actually help on that fuel mileage, which is, I'm sure that's why it gets over 20 because of that. But, I have no idea what the gear ratio is on the axle. I didn't look that up. But, it could be low, it could be an 8-speed. They can control a lot of that with how they gear first and second. But to tow 8,700 pounds, it can't be a super fuel mileage axle ratio. I doubt if you can tow mirrors on this, but if you put like a flatbed or something that's closer to the width of this, you should be able to be fine with these mirrors. And a flatbed,
they always make extenders.
Yeah, that's true.
They look kind of funny, but
this is such a cool look, and you can't change the look of this. This is awesome.
But if you had to, because you're obviously going to be pulling with this every day.
You want to be safe, that's for sure. Yeah, when I get my next drone, now that I lost my first one, that's what I want to do. I'm going to go to a different spot each time so I can shoot up in the air and see the scenery. Because we've got such great scenery, I want to get more of it on film. So I ordered a little one now. We'll see. My big one was great until it went bye-bye. I was so happy with that. It's getting me an expensive project, these videos.
That's all right.
On my fourth drone, but I gave away the first one. The second one I sold because I didn't like it.
Third one we lost.
Yeah, the fourth one's still in the mail.
It's on its way. That's a really nice camping spot.
Oh yeah.
For fun school.
Oh, that comes off that trail. Oh, that's nice.
That's a really nice camping spot. I wonder how I'm gonna get there next.
Yeah. Well, you got so many lifted trucks. Most of them are Dodges. You could probably go anywhere.
we
Well, you've got one Ram now, don't you?
I do have a Ram.
You got a Ram. We should do a brake test sometime. See if I can stretch the seat belts. Because I know it'll stop on a dime.
Oh, it'll stop on a dime.
So I think you should get one of those.
Yeah, fine. let me pay off the 1500 Eco Diesel that we just got, and then this might be next on my list to play around with.
Are you getting 30 miles a gallon Eco Diesel?
I'm at 32.
Wow. Yep, those are certainly fun.
And it's lifted 4 inches on 35s.
Wow. Yeah, it's black with all the chrome on it. I like that little sun guard, this bug guard you put on there.
It looks pretty
looks
slick.
So awesome. It's a chrome fly guard. You can stop in here and pray for we get
Good old
home.
Sunday.
It's Sunday. Oh yeah.
Oh, they took the arch down.
Yeah,
Just capped it off.
I guess that's how they fixed it.
Well, do we want to do that?
I think you should do a drift donut in the middle of the parking lot.
Maybe it'll clear it out.
They'll be coming out shouting hallelujah. This SRT Durango, hope you can hear me. Getting some RPMs. I'm towing a trailer, so the RPMs run a little higher. So it is a little louder. But this is such a fun performance SUV. You go in the dash, you can show you all these different options you can do. I mean, you can do quarter-mile burns, 0 to 60, all that, and it's in your center dash or your main stack. And it's so many things it can tell you. So you can do brake testing, you can do, your speed runs and all that, and, put it whatever screen you want to watch it in. And it's got tow haul mode to show you actually adjust your suspension. It goes to 50-50 split on the all-wheel drive. So you got a little steering and suspension changes. But it sets it all up for that. And we're towing only 6,840. This thing will set the tow 8,700. So we're almost 2,000 below that. So we got some room, and we're on flat ground driving this about 70 miles with this trailer. We've got a side-by-side and ATV on there, and it does really well. I noticed, of course, like in all tow haul modes, it shifts at a higher RPM, which it's doing now in this tow mode. Running about 2,000 RPMs, only going 50 miles an hour, picking up here a little. But it's towing very well. We've got the Gen Y hitch, adjustable hitch, and weight distributing hitch on there, and it is smooth. We're leveled out. We've got an auto brake on the trailer. That's our brake controller. And it goes off the blue wire whenever you hit the brakes. It knows it, and it feels the motion of the truck and applies brakes to the trailer proportionally, which is awesome. But we're level. We're not swaying at all. We got the weight distributing hitch on the Gen Y hitch, and it's doing very well. We're no movement at all from the trailer. The truck's handling it very well. I can watch all my gauges. Nothing's getting warm. Taking a little more fuel, of course. But, that makes this an all-around vehicle. You haul a family. You can go have fun on the track. You can haul things. 8,700 pounds will cover a lot of boats. Probably the majority of boats out there be under 8,700 pounds. You can go 2-horse trailers. You can do ATVs. Pretty good size RV. So, it's makes this a real value. But you can do so many things with one vehicle. That's what this does. What we're towing is a 22-foot tilt trailer from Load Trail. It weighs a little over probably 4,700 pounds, and I got the AT side-by-side still on there, so 8,700 and change. 6,840 pounds that we're towing. So we're a couple thousand below. The other one we're 1,900 below the max towing capacity. But it's actually stayed pretty level. Of course, weight distributing hitch keeps it level. But I have noticed that there's a big difference in the way this thing stands with or without a trailer. But, I think this would work well. It's probably the best towing vehicle in its class. And, even though it's not a body and frame, it's a unibody. It of all that to make it handle better. It's got some pretty good sized subframes underneath there to connect the axles and all. But we're towing a flatbed, which gives me a little better visibility out the mirrors, because I can see over the top. If you were to load clear to the outside, you would have a harder time seeing, but I've got this lined up so I can see really well around my trailer. Great control. About 17 miles. I want to see what kind of fuel mileage I'm getting. Right now I'm getting 9.9. I want to see what the average ends up being. Towing 6,840 pounds. Well, towing this trailer with the SRT Durango, I'm actually averaging about 9.8 miles per gallon. And that's averaging like 55 miles to the 55 mile an hour. And it's cool on this thing, this has that cylinder deactivation, so it'll go from 8 cylinders to 4 cylinders when you let off the gas, or you're going downhill, or you're not pulling a load, and that gets you that better gas mileage. I mean, 9.8 is very respectable when you're towing, 6,840 pounds. That's actually good with a gas engine. But I think it's a great towing machine from what I've experienced of it. Doesn't sway, got a good weight distributing hitch on from Gen Y hitch. But it's level, it's actually with that treader on there, it handles a little easier than it does without it, because it's got this quick steering, even in the street mode. It's made for action. But yeah, I really like the way this feels pulling a trailer.
Of pickup truck questions, right?
Right. Where do we go for the answers?
We go to the Truck Nuts book.
Because we're truck nuts. And we wrote the book, Truck Nuts. We're nuts about truck, the ultimate guide to buying a truck, or to looking at a truck, or judging a truck, whether it's diesel versus gas, new versus used, what your teenagers should learn about trucks, all that. You do all kinds of cool tests.
Yeah, we do a lot of testing. We do the iGauntlet, world's toughest towing test, up the mountain and down the mountain. We do MPG testing on the highway, loaded with trailers.
Yeah.
We do off-road testing. A lot of that data is in this book as well, and it's a one-stop shop for truck information.
That's true. We test trucks, maximum capacity, up to the biggest grades you can do on the interstate.
Yep.
So we really put them to the test. And, you can get all the facts you can't find anywhere else. We do MPG tests, which you can't find on any sticker anywhere. So, all that stuff that you can't find is in the book.
And you can find the book at trucknutsbook.com. There are links to Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and all the other bookstores as well.
So read about your truck nuts.